Namaskaram. My name is Kshama Raja. I'm from Kerala. Today in Music Namaste, I'm representing God's own country's Kathakali art form. Kathakali, as the name suggests, it is story in the form of a play. Katha means story and play means drama. So as the name suggests, it's about stories that I'm going to be talking today. A quick note about myself. I have had training in Carnatic music from the DKP school in Chennai. My guru in Kathakali Sangeetam is Sri Kalamandalam Gopalakrishnan, who's a retired professor from the RLV College, Tripunithra. I've been performing for Kathakali performances, as well as we also do Kathakali Pada Kacheris all through Kerala and outside Kerala also. Since the stories, it is about stories that I'm going to be talking about, and Music Namaste is a forum that largely deals with, the classical music and classical art forms of India. I would want to definitely, thank Music Namaste for having included Kathakali into their foray. And here I will be handling, Kathakali Sangeetam in comparison with Carnatic music. The reason, Kathakali Sangeetam is largely based on the Carnatic Ragams. 90% of the Kathakali Ragams are from Carnatic Ragams. However, there are exceptions. There are certain Ragams which you will not find in Kathakali. At the same time, there are certain Ragams in Kathakali, only in Kathakali, or it is called Kerala Ragams, Keraliya Ragam. Those Ragams are there only in the Kerala art forms, like Kathakali, Sopana Sangeetam. You will not find it in any other art forms in India. So there is a lot of similarities, yet there are differences also. As I told you, it is story that has been played, and the stories are inspired from our own Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavata largely. We also have standalone stories written by authors, like one major story that holds a very special place in Kathakali is Nalacharitam, which is written by Unnai Warrior. Like we have Romeo and Juliet in the West, and Shakuntalam, which is a love story between Dushyant and Shakuntala. In Kerala, we have Nalacharitam, which is written by Unnai Warrior. It talks about the love, and it's a love story between Nala and Damayanti. Like Nalacharitam, we also have standalone stories inspired from different situations within Mahabharata, Ramayana and Bhagavata, plus the actual main incidences under Ramayana and Mahabharata and Bhagavata. Now, the inspirations definitely will tell you, the characters that you can find in Kathakali. Either they are, superhumans or gods and goddesses themselves. Like we have Arjuna, we have Bhima, we have Hanuman, we have Karna, we have Dakshan, Shiva, Vishnu, Parvati, Krishna. So they form the characters. And the life, it talks about human civilization, human life, human philosophy. Hence there is emotions, and you name the emotion and you have a situation in Kathakali, and you have a scene in Kathakali. So it is also, I can call it as a complete art form, because of its widely acclaimed Indian theatre, complete Indian theatre because you name the situation, and there is a situation in Kathakali also we can depict. Plus somebody who's interested in different aspects, like somebody who's interested in drawing and painting, color combination, he's fascinated with colors, definitely will have their piece of appreciation in Kathakali. Because of our face painting, we have different characters, so different characters will have different kinds of face painting and drawing, which is a skill developed over the years of study and practice. Somebody who's interested in artistry, sculpture, we do have the all the ornaments that a Kathakali wears is carved out in wood and paper, so there also they can appreciate it. Somebody who's interested in literature and poetry, obviously we have the sahitya, the story, and the language that is used is it's we have Sanskrit, we have Malayalam, and we have a combination of this which is called Malama. So somebody who is doing a research in Sanskrit will definitely have a lot of takeaways from Kathakali art form. Somebody who's interested in mathematics and the thalams, they have feast in the Kerala thalam system. We have a thalam which is in one cycle there is 1086 akshara and as low as we have a thalam which has just 3 akshara. So there is a wide range, somebody who can appreciate it. Last but not the least, my own topic, which is the Kathakali Sangeetam. When I say Kathakali Sangeetam, the actual term is Kathakali Padam, and I would say it is largely because of its influence from the Sanskrit, because we have shlokas, so that's and padyams. So maybe that padyam has evolved as the term padam. So like we have a kruti in Carnatic music, here it is called as a Kathakali Padam. So there is each padam for each situation. So each piece is called as a padam. And it is situational. So we have Sringara Padam, which is Shringaram. I wouldn't want to only say it is love. It can be between friendship, it can be between mother and son, it can be between father and daughter. Anything to depict, it can be depicting the surroundings, the beauty of the surroundings. So anything that comes under happiness can be Sringaram. Then we have Dukkha Padam. Dukkha means sorrow, so everything that comes under sorrow can be Dukkha Padam. We have a Yuddha Padam. Yuddham means war. So there it can be either the war itself, or it can be calling somebody for war, or it can be challenging somebody for a war. So there is hatred, there is jealousy, there is place for mockery. So you name the situation and you have a padam. Sambhashanam, which is conversational between two characters, question and answers, or it could be in any conversation. Then there is something called as Dandagam, which is only there in Kathakali. The best way to put it is, in movies we would sometimes see a caption like few years later or few years back. So a Dandagam is something that comes as a fast forward or as a flashback, or it is talking about series of incidents that is happening between two scenes. Okay, so that is only seen in Kathakali, and there is a format, and there is a particular format. And as I told you, there is a lot of similarities between Carnatic music and Kathakali. 90% of the Ragam base is from Carnatic Sampradaya Ragams only. However, now things like Dandagam, there are about 6 ragams which is not there in any other art forms other than Kathakali, which is called as a Keraliya ragam. There are about 6 ragams. The uniqueness is it does not have a swara prasthana like we have in the Carnatic ragams. There is no arohana avarohana. There is no set arohana avarohana. There is no swara prasthavana at all. We cannot say that it has kakali nishadam or shuddha devadam or pancha. We cannot put it under any of the categories. So, but widely used in Kathakali. So how do you learn it? We just learn it. We just learn to sing it. That's all. Okay. And another uniqueness is that Kathakali Padam is not taught with notations. You cannot notate it for a simple reason. Kathakali Sangeetam is known as a Bhava Sangeetam. It is not based on the technicality of the ragam, like only these phrases are allowed, only this formation is allowed. That Kathakali Padam does not follow that very strictly. Rather than that, what the focus here is on the bhava of the character or the situation that the character is trying to bring out. So we will have exceptions in many ragams, which I would demonstrate in due course. So we would have deviations in the swara prasthanas while we apply it in Kathakali. So here what I've done is I've taken some major ragams as well as some light ragams also to show the applicability of the ragams in Kathakali Padams. Now, in certain ragams, I have chosen more than one Padam to show the difference of application. That can be demonstrated in all the ragams for that matter. However, due to lack of time, I am only demonstrating it in one or two major ragams to give an idea about the difference of application. To start with, I would want to start with a very beautiful ragam, which is the main ragam, which is Kalyani. I will demonstrate two padams, where it shows, one is a very elaborate padam, it's a Sringara Padam, very elaborate, it's a 30-minute padam by itself. So, and I would sing few lines of those padam depicting the major bhavams of the ragam, and subsequently I will also switch to another padam in Kalyani itself, which depicts of a different situation. I wouldn't want to elaborate on the situations because that would take again some time, because then I will have to tell you the story, the situation, the characters and all that. So here it is only the application of the ragam that the focus is. So which I believe I would be able to bring it out in my demonstration. Now, before I get into the padam, I would definitely want to sing a Vandana Shlokam, because as I told you, we start the performances with Vandana Shlokam. And the Vandana Shlokam is always in Kedara Gavla in Kathakali. So after the Vandana Shlokam, I will move on to the Padam, Kalyani. Matanganana Abjavasaramani Govindamadyam Adyam Guru Vyasam Panini Garganarada Kanadadyan Munindra Budhan Durga mridanga shaila nilaya Shri Porkali Ishtadam Bhaktya Nityamupasmahe Sabadi na kurvandvami Mangalam. This is a Vandanam Shloka. I would also here talk a uniqueness about Kathakali Sangeetam. It is always sung by two people for two reasons. One, the length of the line or length of the thala, the length of the padam is big. Okay, so it is very strenuous if one person is singing it. Now when I sang 4 lines, it is actually the first and the third line is sung by one and the second and the fourth is sung by another person. So 2 people sing the padam. The second reason being, the main reason being, it is, the characters actually mime, they enact the entire sahitya using hand gestures, which is called mudras. Now this mudra is actually padartham, which means for each and every word we have a mudra. We can show it through the mudra language, through the sign language. Hence, now if there are say about 8 words in a line, the character, the male character or the person who's doing the vesham will will enact all the 8 words through mudras. Now there will be situations where they can express it in various ways, more than one ways, so they might elaborate it. So till that one line is over, the line has to be repeated again and again, so which is again a challenge when one person is singing it. So that's the reason why there are 2 people singing it. So it is very challenging to sing Kathakali Padam single, individually. However, I have, I will try my level best to make it seamless. And if you can notice the length of the line, it is comparatively larger. Now moving to Kalyani, the Sringara Padam first. Kundina Nayaka Nandini Kyotoru Pennil Mannil Yennu Ketu Munne Kundina Nayaka Nandini Kyotoru Pennil Mannil Yennu Ketu Munne Vinnilum Illa Noo அந்ய லோகத்திங்களும் விண்ணேலும் இல்லானூன அந்ய லோக திங்களும் என்னூவ நீருநாட தேமித நினைக்கும்போல் என்னூவ நீரு நாட தேமித விதுமுகியுடே ரூப மதுரத கேட்டு மம விதுமுகியுடே ரூப மதுரத கேட்டு மம விதுமுகியுடே ரூப மதுரத கேட்டு மம விதுரத வன்னோ கிருத்ய சதுரத போயி விதுரத வன்னோ கிருத்ய சதுரத போயி முதிரததி கபரி பரிஜய பதவியோ 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 விஜனே வசதியோ மே கதியே நீ ரெண்டில் ஒன்னே விஜனே வசதியோ மே கதியே நீ ரெண்டில் ஒன்னே வரிஹ பாஹுகா என்னருகில் வரிஹ பாஹுகா என்னருகில் வரிக பாஹுகா நிருபமானந்த सारथ्य सारस्य पाक्येषु निकेल्कलोकैकमान्य पाक्येषु निकेल्कलोकैकमान्य वरिघ बाहुगा नळनति सुकृति यदु मूलम् अन्नसाध्यमाय नळनति सुकृति यदु मूलम् अन्नसाध्यमाय नलिनगात्रि मेलनमिन्नुം ലഭിക്കുമെന്നുമേ ലളിനഗാത്രി മേലനമിന്നും ലഭിക്കുമെന്നുമേ തെളിവിനോടെ തേർന്നി തെളിക്കണം തെളിവിനോടെ തേർന്നി തെളിക്കണം ഗളിത സംശയ ഗളിത സംശയ നളിനവെന്തു താനുദിക്കിൽ നാളിപ്പോ നളിനവെന്തു താനുദിക്കിൽ നാളിപ്പോ നളിനാക്ഷി നന്മൊടു രമണീയ നന്മണി രമണീയ നളിനവെന്തു താൻ ഉദിക്കിൽ നാളിപ്പോ നളിനാക്ഷി നന്മൊടു നന്മണി രമണീയ കടനേനെ വരിഹ ബാഹുക So this is like this. We have different varieties of Kalyanis that we can see in Kathakali Padam. Quickly moving on to the next Ragam, we would definitely take Shankarabharanam. Now here in Shankarabharanam, I've taken one single Padam, but it is conversational between two characters. So one half of Shankarabharanam is for one character and the second half is for the other character. Now you would be able to see the difference in the mood of the character. Paridevitam mati mati tava paridevitam mati 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 tava brahmana sadhu mate brahmana sadhu mate aarti tirth akhila dhatri deva kulam aarti tirth akhila dhatri deva kulam nityam kaatiduka kshatriya dharmam attal kizhil kadinya datra kshamikya bhava ni janikil kaatu tarume parthan. Vishtapadhipan Shishtapalakan Vishtapadhipan Shishtapalakan Vishtarasravasenude dukham Ketilaganyadende 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 Yottum Vichariyade Potta Nichadi Purapettadetrayum Chitram Potta Nichadi Purapettadetrayum Chitram. Now you see, the first half was that of Arjuna, who was, who's self-confident, who knows about, what he can do. So he is consoling, he is giving some confidence to a sadhu, a Brahmin, who has just lost 9 kids and who has come to see Krishna in the Yadava Sabha, and Krishna does not even look at him, or none of the Yadavas even heed to him. That's when Arjuna jumps up and says, "Hey Brahmin, wait, I am Kshatriya, so I would ensure that I would ensure that your next son is or next child is it comes out without any problem, that you will have a child. If that doesn't happen, I am not the son of Indra." So for that, in return, the Brahman actually mocks at Arjuna. Vishtavadipan Shishtabalakan. The entire universe is father, and Vishtara Sravasende. Vishtara Sravas means the entire Yadava clad. They did not even, Ketulaganyadand. They did not even heed, or they did not even move one finger against, or hearing to my sorrow. And he's calling him a potta, which means you fool. And you are jumping up and saying that you will take up that responsibility of, saving my next child. Do you think I should, believe you? So like that, so you can see the mood of the character is depicted in Shankarabarna. The continuation also, for Arjuna, it is very, very, very confident, very sober. He says, Hanta Shoka Bharantha Nai Bhavan Chonna Vakinilla Apriya Medum Sandeham Venda Tava Nandanan Ulavagil Tannila Pali Chengil Indratmajanalla Aham. So he says, I am, I'm not disturbed by your words. Though you called me fool, Arjuna is not disturbed. So he again consoles and gives confidence to the Brahman. So both are, Shankarabharanam, but different moods depicted for different characters. Quickly moving on to the third Ragam, Pandurali. as I said, I would also demonstrate a shlogam before a padam, and then move on to a padam in Pandurali. प्रियतम दर्शन प्रसितया बत भीम जया नाळायिति बाहुगे जनित संशय मानसया इति किल केशिनी निगदिता नळमे जबाल भ्रातगत मन्ययुक्त कुशला कुशलम कुशल आरडो नीनिंदे पेरंदू चोल्लेणम आरुडे तेरितडो आरडो निंदे पेरंदू चोल्लेनम आरुडे तेरितडो दूर देशतु निन्नु वन्नवरन्नु तोनीडूर देशतु निन्नु वन्नवर एन्नु തോന്നി നേരോ തന്നെ ചൊല്ലേനം കാര്യം ഉണ്ടിന്നതിനാൽ നേരോ തന്നെ ചൊല്ലേനം കാര്യം ഉണ്ടിന്നതിനാൽ. Now this is a padam of one character, female character. Now the reply, she is asking a male character. She is asking Bahugan, who are you? Aradoni, what is your name? Ninde perendu. And whose Ragam is this? It looks like you have come all the way, you have come from a very far off place. Who are you? Now for that, the reply given, this is of that of a female character. Hence, Pandurali goes like this. Now, the male character, who is actually Nala, King Nala in disguise. Okay, so since it is a male character, and he is in a very tricky situation. He is in disguise. The and But he also has to keep up his dignity. I mean, he just can't play around. So he's very straightforwardly, he says that I am so and so, we have come from this Kundina Rajyam, or we have come to Kundina Rajyam from Rituparna Rajyam. So he is making his statements very bold, and hence the reply is in Bhairavi. So I will depict two Bhairavis here. One is a reply to the Padam that I sang earlier, and the next I will also demonstrate another version of Bhairavi post that, and then I'll talk about it after I finish the demo. The second situation of Bhairavi. Kandevar Kojali enne kandillayo bale mindidanye adende nidra pundiduga kondo prema kopam pundu mayi kamini வாழ்கையோ de no tamasi che dolla. This is Sringara Padam, but it is that of an anti-hero, Kijagan, who had actually tried to molest Panjali during her disguise period. But Panjali escapes from his this thing, and she actually goes and tells Bhima, who is in disguise as Valalan. So Valalan says, don't worry, you send him to the Natyashala in the night and I will see to it. So Kichagan has actually come to the Natyashala without any light, and thinking that it is Malini, which is Panjali, who is lying down there. He's actually opening up his heart to her, saying, hey beautiful lady, why are you not talking to me? Are you angry with me that I actually hit you the other day? It was only because of my love to you. I'm not patient anymore. So he says, let's so he's actually pouring out his romance to Panjali. However, the situation there is, that is his last words, because he's going to be killed in a few more minutes. So hence that Bhairavi has a touch of he pleading to her. At the same time, it is the end of him. So the Bhairavi depicts a very, very beautiful different kind of a Bhairavi here. So this is how I can similarly, there are different varieties or different situations of Bhairavi that we can demonstrate. There is also fast numbers like Yengu Ninnirunaruli Suradipa, Yengu Ninnirunaruli Suradipa, like that. There are different fast numbers also we have. Then we have this a padam where Panjali is being actually pulled out for Vastrakshebam, and then he says, Panjali kel ninnudaya panja prananadan marum anjade kandevam nilkave chanjalahinam poonjela ninnu azhikuvan. So different tempos, different situations, different shades of Bhairavi we can demonstrate. So quickly moving on to the next Ragam, Bhegada. Bhegada is again very differently used in Kathakali. I would demonstrate little phrases of 2 padams in Bhegada. Sataram Nijonnoru Moridu Idu Satu Allah Kumate Mori Idu Satu Allah Kumate. Ketamati nodaya vivarami tariga. Ketamati nodaya vivarami tariga. Kevalam Paranariyil a fast number where the earlier same story where Kijaga was killed. Before that, when he approaches Sairandri, she actually warns him. Sadaram Nichonu, what you have said to me now is not of a very gentleman nature. You should understand that, paranariyal, when you have interest in other men's wife, it will definitely bring you harm. So she's actually cautioning Kijaga. However, she can't be very outright, or she can't be too bold in saying so, because she's there in disguise. And Kijaga is actually the warrior of that kingdom. So she can't be too bold. At the same time, she has to definitely put across her message. So this is one way of Begada. The other, I would want to go back to our Shankarabarnam Padam. After Shankarabarnam, the next Padam where Arjuna actually says, I'm actually Arjuna who gives happiness to the entire Swargam, to even the gods. So don't worry, I will definitely be able to help you. Salguna Sheila Dvijendra Malgidram Kelka Moda Swarga Vasigalkum Sukhavitaranam Cheyum Arjunane Ketariyo Nillayo Bhavan. So like that he says, and then he says, Ini melil jeni kunna kanayane paripali janapayam bhavadenyan tandila yengil anala kundam tannil madichidade chadidahichiduvan deham vadhichiduvan satyam. So he is giving confidence. If I don't save your next child, I'm giving you a promise that I will suicide. I'll jump into a Anala Kundam, which is I'll jump into the holy fire and end my life. So there again, Begada has been used. So this is a small depiction of Begada. Next, I would want to show Ahiri, which is again in a very, very differently handled Ragam in Kathakali. One Padam of that of Duryodhana, where the normal mode, Duryodhana is actually persuading, Yudhishthira to come for the play of dice. Dharma Nandana Veera Dhatri Palakan Marko Sharma Mulluru Kale Narmangal Venamallo. So this is the normal Ahiri that we can see. But there are also, different, it is also used in a, Ahiri is used in a situation where Naragasuran is actually calling Indra for a battle. Sudhasanendra Vada Suhasanendra. Similar way, Ravanan is actually telling Naradan, who else is there? Oh, Narada Mahamune, come on. Who else is there, more powerful than me in this world? Not only me, even my sons. nobody is there to even win us. So even that kind of Veera Rasam is also being, for Veera Rasam also Ahari is being used. Narada Maha Mune Sumade Arani ini mama vairigal ailoge porino vanniduvan viryam ullaverundo. Now for this, if I have to bring out the more Veera Rasam, actually I have to use the same talam. But if I get into that, it's an all the more a different complex subject altogether. So that's why I did not use the talam. I just wanted to portray how the upper octaves of Ahari will, can bring out Veera Rasam. Now quickly touch upon, ragams where, we have very scanty padams, or, it is very used in special padams. Now there is, for the entry of a female character, we have something called as a sari padam, which is, where there is no mudra. The character does not enact the actual line, whereas it is, the dance steps, the nritya aspect, nrittam aspect is being used here. So the character only dances certain steps for the padam. So one such is that is called a sari padam. So sari padam does not have a mudra, or she does not do a word by word enacting of the padam, whereas since that is an introduction padam, it is usually single, the Nayika herself, or along with her Sakhis, they do the dance steps. So I'm not singing the entire padam, I'll sing 2 or 3 lines from the padam. Again, Varali, we can find very few padams in Varali in Kathakali. So one such is the Sari Padam of Naragasuravadam Lalita, where she comes to take away Indra's son Jayantan, and that's when when she sees him, she actually falls in love with him, and she disguises herself into a very beautiful girl. A beautiful young girl is actually called as a Lalita in Kathakali. So Yamini Charamanini Vannidu Nalla Yamini Charamanini Vannidu Nalla Sumabimbanana Shatamanyu Sutta Savide Sumabimbanana Shatamanyu Sutta Savide Purikuழலில் நறுமலர்கள் ஜோடியும் பால புரிகுழலில் സരസനൃത്ത ആടിയും സുരതരുണി പോലെ ദേഹ കാന്തിയും അവൾ സുരതരുണി പോലെ ദേഹ കാന്തിയും അവൾ വരസുരത മോഹം പൂണ്ടു വിവിധ ലീല ചെയ്കയും വരസുരത മോഹം പൂണ്ടു വിവിധ ലീല ചെയ്കയും. So it goes, so you can see the padam itself. Obviously, when we sing a fast number, so obviously the talam and the variations in the talam and the tempo suggest that it can mostly be a nritta kind of, it can be a nritta padam rather than a abhinaya padam. So this is another example of Varali. And we have one padam very very famous in Kapi. I'll quickly touch upon little bit of Kapi, and we'll move on to some major ragams again. Vasa vasa suda mama nilaye sukham. Vasa vasa suda mama nilaye sukham. Bahuga sadhumate vasunina kinnu tanne asuparanojitam. Vasunina kinnu tanne asuparanojitam. Valsalyamenikku nemmel bahuga. വാത്സല്യമെനിക്കു നിന്മേൽ ബാഹുക ബാഹുക സാധുമതേ. ഇവനു പേർ ജീവലനൻ, ഇവനു പേർ വാഷേയനൻ. ഇവരിരുവരും മമ സാരഥികൾ. ഇവരുടെ ഗൃഹം തന്നെ നിനക്കും ഗൃഹമറിക. ഇവർ നല്ല സൗജന്യവാരിധികൾ. പകലോ മഹാനസത്തിൽ പാകവ്യഗ്രമല്ലോ. പകലോ മഹാനസത്തിൽ പാകവ്യഗ്രമല്ലോ. നിശിപ്പോയ് നിലയനെ പാഴകനീ. നിശിപ്പോയ് നിലയനെ പാഴകനീ. ബാഹുക സാധുമതേ. Quickly moving on to Mukhari. Again, two examples of how Mukhari is applied. One is a very it's a main padam where the king is actually saluting Narada on his arrival. So he is showing his kingly courtesies to Narada. Bhagavan Narada Vande Narada Vande Aham Varavengu Ninne Pol Puriyeno Nilimba Nilimbana Hari Hari Mandiratil Ninno Puriyeno Nilimbana Purino. So this is one of Mukhari. Then we have a fast number, which is a Vichara Padam, which is a single character. She's sitting. It's a female character. It's a seated Padam. So there is no much of movement. Hence, it is on a very fast, pace. Naishadan Ivanta Anoro Ishalilame Nirnayam Tanoro Ishalilame Nirnayam Veshami Vannamagil Doshamendenikippol Veshami Vannamagil Doshamendenikippol Vesham E Vannamagil Dosham Endenikipol Vesham E Vannamagil Dosham Endenikipol. So this is again a fast number. So different moods and different situations depicted in Mukhari. Okay. Moving on to another very major ragam in Kathakali. Two major ragams, I would say. It is Kamboji and Todi. Again, I have taken a single padam. So the first half is that of Kamboji and the second is that of Todi. But for the same character. One single character, one man show, Pudana. The first half, she's actually describing, how beautiful Ambadi is, what all she sees in Ambadi. So she's come in disguise as one of the Yadava ladies. So once she reaches there, she actually forgets and she becomes one among them and she sings and dances along with them. So this is one main padam. So, there is ample scope for the musician to actually explore Kamboji because there is she describes somebody in detail. So the more the character describes somebody, the more the musician has the opportunity to explore Kamboji. And it's kind of a middle paced padam. So there are also dance aspects to it. There is this padam aspect to it. So that's why it is mediocre tempo. And then when she suddenly she goes around, she sees everything, she dances, and then suddenly she sees the Nanda Nilayam. She sees the Nandagopal's house, and that's when that the effect that Aravinda Nayanan is there. The effect of Krishna's presence actually sobers her down, and she slowly starts to go into that ready to, I mean, obviously when it is your end, she sobers down from what she came in hyperactively. She was very enthusiastic and hyperactive, and she was all into go ahead and see the little Krishna. But even the sight of the house and the smell of ghee and curd, heavies down on her. And to bring out that heaviness, uh, you know uh, of that feel that she is going to undergo when she sees Krishna, is actually, used. That padam is actually sung in Todi, which is actually preparing the audience and the character, the person who is doing the character, to totally break down and forget her motive of coming, and totally become one with Krishna the moment she sees the baby. So it's like a preparation. She comes with all her valor, and she's just happy, she's enthusiastic, and then sobers down, and finally when she sees the baby, she just loses herself and becomes one with the baby. She nurses him, she caresses him, and then she says, I can't kill this baby. She reaches to that conclusion where, she says, you drink my milk. I want to nurse you. I want to become your mother for some time at least, but I can never kill you. So that transformation in the character through these ragams, it is brought out. The last part where she actually sees the baby, usually it is sung in Ananda Bhairavi. However, in Kathakali we also have certain padams where after the main line or the main phrase, the rest of the charanams, we don't have a anupallavi pallavi concept. It is pallavi and then the charanams, because it is conversational. I mean, we are just, it is like padyam, no? So it is just a continuation of what we said earlier. So there is no anupallavi charanam concept. So we would want to call it different charanams. So after the first main charanam, certain padams we have the liberty to change ragams. We have the liberty to make it even a ragamalika. So the last part of the padam, which is about 8 lines, I'll sing it in different ragams, so that it also shows the possibility of ragamalika in Kathakali. Ambadi gunam varnichiduvan vamban alla bhani rajanum ambadi gunam varnichiduvan ambadi gunam varnichiduvan vamban alla bhani rajanum vamban alla bhani rajanum yedu nila mani griham adiruchiram ruchi yedu nila mani griham adiruchiram ruchi தளிமவும் இஹ மதுரம் ஜலமொழுகின பூங்கவதி சிசிரோம் ஜல ஒழுகின பூங்கவதி சிசிரோம் பரமூழியுங்கள் எதிரில்ல இதனோரழல் ஊழியுங்கள் எதிரில்ல இதனோரழல் ஈஷலில்ல கழல் தோழும் அமரபுரம் ஈஷலில்ல கடல் தோழும் அமரபுரம் ஊழியுங்கள் கிருதகதா தையதாத்தா அம்பாடி குணவன்னி சீடோவா நந்த நிலையம் இதா காணுனோ பசு நந்த நிலையம் இதா பசு பசு விருந்தவும் ஒரு திசையில் விலசுனோ ததி பிந்து பரிமளவும் இளகுனோ ததி பிந்து பரிமளவும் இளகுனோ ததி பிந்து பரிமளவும் இளகுனோ ஏனி மந்தம் என்னியே கடந்திடும் என் மந்தம் என்னியே கடந்திடும் அரவிந்த நயனன் இஹ போல் வாழும் அரவிந்த நயனன் இஹ போல் வாழும் Now Pudana sees Krishna. She opens the door and she sees Krishna. Sukumara Nanda Kumara Nanda Kumara Vari arigil ne modal variga arigil ne modal sukumara kondal nira kodikolum komalamam tavameni kantidunna janangade kannugalallo sabhalam sukumara kannum neerkondu vadanam kalushamaavanende moolam turnam himajalam kondu purnamam ambujam pole turnam himajalam kondu purnamam ambujam pole sukumara paitale ninaku param paitale ninaku param paitaham undennagilo paitale ninaku param paitaham undennagilo പ്രീതിയോടൻ മുലകളെ താതാപാനം ചെയ്താലും പ്രീതിയോടൻ മുലകളെ താതാപാനം ചെയ്താലും സുകുമാര Now, I know we can keep singing, all the ragams and different situations, different scenarios, different bhavams of ragams. I've not even covered 1% of Kathakali Sangeetam. There is for certain padams I have not put the thalam. I have not spoken much about the thalams that is there in Kathakali Padam, because it's altogether another subject, or rather, it would consume a little more of time, and it is a little complex, because we have thalams with akshara kalas, which is as high as 56 akshara kalas in just one cycle, one thalam, so not getting into that aspect. My attempt was only to show the different applications of the same ragam in different situations, which brings out the different bhavam. Hence, I would want to leave a note saying that the raga bhavam in Kathakali is it's the ranga bhavam, or the situations, the ranga bhavam, rather than the raga bhavam itself, and that difference is brought about with the scenario, with the emotion, with the thalam, with the tempo of the padam, all these aspects, when it is, put together, the bhavam of the ragam can totally change, as we have seen in, some examples here. Now, I would, as a concluding part, I would want to take Madhyamavati. Madhyamavati, there is one speciality here in Kathakali, is that all padams related to Hanuman is 99% in Madhyamavati. If you ask me why, I don't know. But I would definitely want to say that raga goes best with the character, with our, with our picture or the characterization of Hanuman. I would say that, the selection of Madhyamavati Ragam has been the best. So anything to do with Hanuman always comes in Madhyamavati. However, there are also other padams in Madhyamavati also. So I would depict two different scenarios. One is of Hanuman, where he is, asking, once he sees Lavakusha in the forest, he's actually thinking, who are these kids? Which is again in a big talam. So I'll sing 2 lines of Hanuman's Padam, and then I'll move on to another scenario. Sahasigal ivide So this is how all the padams in this talam and this tempo, all the padams of Hanuman. There's another padam in the same manner. Divan Ivanarum Yediril Illayo Mohena. So this is how Madhyamavati goes for in a Hanuman's Padam. There is another situation where, we'll go back to the earlier Arjuna and Brahmana's story, where, Arjuna, based on Arjuna's promise, Brahman goes back and consoles, pacifies his wife, and then, they decide to have another child. And the situation here is the wife has conceived and it is now time for delivery. So, Brahman has come back to take Arjuna, so that, he can save their 10th child. Dhira dhira veera hira he Pandava. Dhira dhira veera hira he Pandava. Kude pori hai parade malgrihe Pandava. Kude pori hai parade malgrihe. Kshirapura gaura kirte nirajastra charumurte duritare bhugradate puruvamsha punya kirte munnam ivide ninnallayo kandadu tammil sundaranga tonu nillayo. Dhanyashila mama patni pinnayum dharichu garbham ധന്യശീല മമ പത്നി പിന്നെയും ധരിച്ചു ഗർഭം ഉന്നത കൗതൂഹലം ആസന്നമായി സൂതികാലം ആസന്നമായി സൂതികാലം അദ്ഭുത വിക്രമ തെല്ലുമേ മാന്ദ്യമരുതേ നിൽപ്പതിന്നു ധൈര്യം ഇല്ലമേ ചിൽപുരുഷനെ വന്ദിക്ക സ്വർപതിയെയും നമിക്ക ചിൽപുരുഷനെ വന്ദിക്ക സ്വർപതിയെയും നമിക്ക കെൽപ്പെഴും ചാപമെടുക്ക ക്ഷിപ്രമേവ നാം നടക്ക കെൽപ്പെഴും ചാപമെടുക്ക ക്ഷിപ്രമേവം നാം നടക്ക ക്ഷിപ്രമേവം നാം നടക്ക. So see he's all happy, he's all bubbly, he's very happy that see, my wife has again conceived, so it's time for delivery, come, let's go, so that's what Kshipramevam Nam Nadaka. The earlier one was that of Hanuman, where the entire Veera Rasam had come out, and here it is ecstasy that is coming out. So this is how again there are a lot more examples of Madhyamavati. So I am extremely happy to have shared little bit of what I know from in comparison to Carnatic music, ragams that is applicable, that is applied in Kathakali Sangeetam. So I believe that the session was interesting. I once again thank MusicNamaste for having given me this opportunity to talk about Kathakali Sangeetam in such a large forum. So I really want to believe that it has kindled some interest in at least few of you to know more about this art form. So whenever you visit Kerala, do come and watch Kathakali programs and enjoy the music here. I would end my my performance today with a mangalam, which is in praise of Sri Rama. And I once again thank MusicNamaste and Sushma ma'am for having given me this opportunity, for having invited and given me this opportunity. Thank you very much, ma'am. Jaya Jaya Ramachandra Janaki Pate, Jaya Jaya Ramachandra Janaki Pate, Jaya Jaya Ramachandra. Narayana Papahara Parayana Jagadisha, Narayana Papahara Parayana Jagadisha, Varavara Sayindesha Naradati Munigeha.